Awesome. Hi, everyone. My name's Payal. When I think about what matters to me, I think about what's going to get us through the end times. And I like to remind myself that our ancestors have always been surviving apocalypses. And even though things seem really dismal at times, as ancestors in training, we're also going to keep surviving apocalypses. So this is a poem for the aunties, who are often underappreciated, but are the ones who are really holding our communities together with care, with food, and intergenerational wisdom. And it's called, "And When the Apocalypse Comes, Only the Aunties Will Survive." Before the apocalypse comes, I want to write a poem for the aunties. The ones who slip Skechers on under their saris after spending hours getting ready for their kids' birthday parties. Who dig out bright, gold-threaded bolts of fabric tenderly pressed between plastic bags and streak sindoor through their hair with tiger balm-tinged fingers before stepping into the passenger seats of their husbands' Corollas. The aunties who, upon arriving, unpeel and unfurl from their husbands into the dining room as their children narrowly escape cheek pinches and run into the basement to play. Their footsteps are stinging staccato eulogies for the Cockrell plates and the freshly vacuumed carpets waiting below. Before the apocalypse comes, I want to write a poem for Gargi Auntie, who lives 2 streets down but is always the last to arrive. She shoves a laddu into my mouth as it opens to greet her, and when I tell her I'm not hungry, she hands me 2 more for later. You see, the aunties are historians. They always want to document joy, carefully arranging themselves around couches into a rainbow of red-marked middle parts and bejeweled blouses. They are a jumble of shoulders and rounded bellies and scoops of neck like sagging, soft, rolling hills. They drape their arms across each other like weathered comforters and hold each other close enough to not get lost, laughing as they adjust their sari pleats. I want to write a poem for Goody Auntie, who is always tucked into the back. She hates photos, but she loves being held, and she loves her son. But she keeps hiding away from the cameras because she hates the dark bags blooming under her eyes from the late night shifts at the local Macy's to pay his medical bills. I want to write a poem for persistence. For Anjana Auntie, who started surviving dystopias the night she turned 20, when her arranged marriage whisked her across an ocean, and so she taught herself how to code by going to community college night classes so that she could feel in control of something. For Dimple Auntie, who strings the hairs across my upper lips and laughs at my bad jokes and when I tell her about the days that I don't feel beautiful. She tells me how she bought this salon space because she was lonely after her marriage, and so she shaped a new family out of hot wax and rose water and ashes and debris as she numbs me with the cool pressure of her fingertips. The aunties are teachers and chefs and mothers and business owners and conjurers of something out of nothing, and once they wanted to be artists, not just survivors. They wanted to make things that were so unspeakably beautiful, and so they made us. When they realized what they had done, they coaxed tigers out of their stretch marks, sharpened silver tongues into dowry gold, and gifted us garlands of lemon and chili for protection. I think that if they were paid for all of their emotional labor, they would have it saved up for this very moment. Even if the world had never ended, it would all still be for us. But until then, the aunties have mastered the art of simmering leftovers into something digestible and savory enough to be served alongside their husband's evening chai. They're constantly busy, but always have time to break rusk biscuits over porcelain plates, and they eat, and everything grows, and we eat, and everything grows, and when I tell Gargi Auntie that I'm no longer hungry, she reminds me that we should never waste food and always share what we have. Because she knows what it's like to have grown up without having enough, and so when the world ends, she's ready. Before the apocalypse comes, I want to write a poem for abundance, for the aunties who consume day-old rice before us and proudly display worn gold bangles before filling their homes with sandalwood smoke so that we may never know scarcity. Thank you.